Xbox has long been the home of incredible multiplayer gaming, boasting intense shooters, cerebral strategy games, and everything in between for you and your mates to get stuck into. And thanks to this week's multiplayer sale, you can all save some money while you play.
No matter how much we love our friends, sometimes it just feels good to bash them upside the head with a broadsword. And with Chivalry 2 now 33% off, you can live out that particular fantasy without breaking the bank or going to jail. This medieval actioner pits the Mason Order against the Agatha Knights in a 64-person brawl for some of the most clatteringly brutal melee action you'll find anywhere on Xbox. Using swords, shields, and great big hammers, you and your friends could trade blows across a vast battlefield, learning to master each weapon's finer points. Or you can just go leaping through the air like a medieval Knievel, whichever takes your fancy. Since the game boasts full crossplay, you'll be able to cross swords with players from all different platforms, although the action does look especially spiffy in 4K on the Xbox Series X. The armor is so shiny you can practically see your face in it, wherever it might be.
There's an old proverb which goes, fall down 7 times, stand up 8. And while the math there seems a little off, it's a good philosophy to bring to Human Fall Flat, a game in which you are going to fall an awful lot more than 7 times. Thanks to its clumsy ragdoll physics, Human Fall Flat turns overcoming even the simplest obstacles into a war with reality itself. Its doughy heroes simply aren't very well coordinated, but they are incredibly cute, and oh my goodness, who gave that one an axe? Anyway, things only get more chaotic once you throw more players into the mix, allowing for up to 8 of you at a time to go tumbling through the game together. But if you communicate clearly and work in unison, then I'm sure everything will go, well, probably a bit like this. Now 70% off, Human Fall Flat is also available on Xbox Game Pass.
If you fancy yourself a bit of a marksman and want to prove to your buddies just how sick your skills are, Sniper Elite 4 is the way to go. With its emphasis on absolute precision, there's no room for the spray and pray tactics you might hide behind in other shooters. Either you can knock a dude's helmet off from the other side of town, or you can't. Thanks to a free next-gen update, Xbox Series X players can aim in crisp 4K, while them and Xbox Series S gamers can enjoy a smooth and steady 60 FPS frame rate to help them hit those moving targets. Sniper Elite 4 has had an incredible 90% blasted off its price tag, and you can also pick it up from Xbox Game Pass. Now is the perfect time to start working on your sharpshooting skills too, with Sniper Elite 5 set to arrive on May 26th.
But if you and your friends would rather play something a little more tranquil and a little less headshotty, then Stardew Valley might be more your speed. They say that many hands make light work, and you'll need all the help you can get after taking over your grandfather's farm. Your crops need to be planted, tended, and then sold, and there are buildings to be built and a whole town's worth of people for you to bond with. In short, you're going to be pretty busy. And once the work is done, you and your buds can relax by going out on a nice, relaxing horse ride together. Whatever you feel like getting up to in the valley, the game is now 30% off and also available on Xbox Game Pass.
Stylish twin-stick shooter The Ascent was one of the many amazing new titles to arrive day one on Xbox Game Pass last year, and it's now 40% off as well. Taking place in a glittering cyberpunk dystopia, The Ascent's broody, neon-drenched streets make it a treat for the eyes, especially in 4K 60 on the Xbox Series X. On the other hand, it's not exactly the most welcoming place in the universe, what with all the giant robotic spiders and terrifying cyber soldiers on the go, so you'll fare better if you travel as a pack. The game boasts a vast arsenal of deadly futuristic gadgets and gizmos for you to acquire, and by combining them in just the right fashion, you and your squad can become a veritable walking fortress. So, team up, tool up, and get ready to fight for a better tomorrow.
If you're unfamiliar with the Don't Starve survival series, then it's basically a place where everything is terrible all the time. As you try desperately to stay alive, you're going to be attacked by tree monsters, and at night, ghosts will come floating in and get up all in your business. And at other times, the whole place will be on fire while you just sit there, like the dog in the meme that we all know, pretending everything is fine. But in Don't Starve Together, which is now 60% off, at least you'll have some friends around to help you get through the worst of it. As well as keeping your character fed, watered, and not eaten by monsters, you'll need to make sure they keep their mind together. So if you do pick this one up, make sure to pick friends who won't drive you crazy to play it with.
And if struggling desperately to survive is your preferred method of hanging out with your friends, then Conan Exiles is also available on Xbox Game Pass and 60% off. The world of Conan the Barbarian is, unsurprisingly, barbaric, a barren desert underneath a baking sun. It also happens to be absolutely chock full of deadly creatures and danger, so this is another title where banding together might be the best course of action. Although, if something like this thing comes along, I don't know, maybe try playing dead. Otherwise, there are weapons to be forged, animals to be tamed, and forts to be built in this brutally brilliant survival game. Conan Exiles has been given a stunning visual overhaul for next-gen consoles, so Xbox Series X and S players can enjoy a more refined version of this terrifying wasteland.
Remember that movie A Bug's Life? Okay, well now imagine if it involved more samurai swords and weirdly jacked up beetles. And also the whole thing was sort of like a game of rugby, and that's pretty much Killer Queen Black. Playing in 2 teams of 5, you and your buggy buddies are free to roam around clobbering each other, but there are 3 ways to actually win. You can go straight for the jugular and try to take out the other side's queen 3 times, or go all hunter-gatherer by collecting the berries you find around the field. If all else fails, you can hop on the back of a snail and try to ride them all the way across the screen. That might all sound a bit crazy, but it quickly starts to make sense as soon as you play, even the snail thing. With its fast-paced, arcadey action, this could easily become your newest multiplayer obsession, and it's now 25% off.
Deep Rock Galactic is a co-op shooter in which you and your dwarven brethren get to blast your way through procedurally generated caves, digging up all sorts of precious resources. So I guess you could say that this game is suitable for miners. Don't know, people won't find it funny. As well as those valuable minerals, each cave is also full of creepy crawlies, so you and your squad will need to cover each other's backs while you work. Fortunately, you've got enough gadgets to fill a Spy Kids movie at your disposal, from platform spawning guns to help you get around, to good old-fashioned flamethrowers for when you just want to immolate somebody from a safe, respectful distance. So, if you're looking to get into the space mining business but are a little short on startup capital, Deep Rock Galactic is now 35% off, and it's also available on Xbox Game Pass.
Finally, if you want to prove that you are this true strategic mastermind within your friend group, then Sid Meier's Civilisation is now 70% off. The latest game in this classic turn-based strategy series has you once again raising a young civilization up from the sticks and stones into a global superpower. As ever, there are a variety of ways that you can go about it. If you're committed to achieving the highest aims of civilized society, you can put all of your resources towards technological and cultural achievements. On the other hand, if you're feeling a little less civilized, you could always let your swords or robots do the talking. You're sure to see a different side of your buddies if you boot this one up together, as each of you gets to unleash their inner despot. But when the dust has finally settled and the entire course of human history has to be rewritten, at least you'll still be friends. Probably.
No matter what sort of game your group is into, they're sure to find something in this week's sale. Although, if they insist on the game that involves smacking each other with battle axes, then, I don't know, maybe keep an eye on that particular friendship. We'll be back next week with even more amazing Xbox deals, but in the meantime, don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell for all the latest news. Bye!